Hello again, crafty friends. Welcome back to the craft dungeon. Dirty Paintbrush back with you, wanting to share some hauls with you. So I did show you a few things that I picked up at Michael's the other day. It was 50% off for their Valentine's stuff. So some of this stuff I picked up because I'm currently working on a journal for a Valentine journal swap over at Let's Make a Mess with Dawn. So I grabbed some of those things, and then I didn't pull this stuff over, but I also picked up a couple packages of embossing folders. They came with 2 embossing folders, which I think these are adorable, and I'll use these whether it's Valentine's Day or not. These are like little roses, whimsical little hearts, and then we kind of have a heart frame, and then we have a round scalloped doily looking frame. So I've already used these for my journal that I'm making, and then they just came with a few little acrylic stamps, which are perfect for, you know, journals and card making or whatever, and they were normally $5 for 2 folders and a stamp set, so I got them 50% off. Which $2.50 for this is not bad. I'm sure that these folders are not super duper high quality. I could see the hinges maybe not lasting as long as maybe the more expensive ones. However, no more than I remember to use my Big Shot or Big Kick or whatever the one is that I have. But I added some more embossing folders to my collection, so I can't wait to show you that. Other things that I got at Michael's when I was there the other day, I picked up more glue because I'm getting low, especially on this one. I love these glues. I like my Aleenes as well, obviously. These have, they dry a little faster. I use this one more for things that I really need some extra gluey power. This is very sticky stuff, so if you get it on your fingers, it's very sticky. And I use this more for paper. It dries clear, and it's got a finer tip and a big tip. And so I use these a lot when I'm working on projects. So Jane Davenport. I have been, you know, I get some of this stuff once in a while, and I think I've told you that I have a set of her watercolors, which I love. And I'm no watercolor professional, obviously, but these are the color swatch. It's the bright pastel set, and I've used these a reasonable amount. I love them, even though I'm not a pro. I'll buy some more expensive watercolors because I have fun with them. One of my next projects on my list to do is the watercolor drip with the bubbles that Marta did over on her channel, Marry Small Art. I haven't even unwrapped these yet. I got these for Christmas from my husband. That was part of my gift, and I still have not unwrapped them yet. I just, you know, I've been so busy with work and with kids and with the holidays, and finding time to get in this room, especially, I mean, in the evenings and stuff during the week, is almost impossible. There's always something that I need to be doing. I always need to be monitoring my daughter and making sure she does what she's supposed to be doing. So that's, you know, time consuming. And then we have 3 dogs, and one of them is a puppy and one of them is a senior. And so the senior pup is the senior little girl. She's not feeling well right now. So it's constant cleaning out her crate. She's in there because I don't want to have to worry about messes all over the house, and it's not nice liquid anyway. So this is not part of this week's haul, but last weekend I finally picked up a set of gelatos, and I settled on the pastels because I'm so into that right now, the pastel colors, and I've been doing that a lot in my planner. And so I went ahead and grabbed this set. I haven't even got them out yet. I used a 40 or 50% off coupon on these. And again, I haven't even had a chance to mess with them, and I can't wait. So there's so much I want to do, and as soon as I get done with this journal for this swap, my hope is to kind of start getting this other stuff out and start playing with it a little bit. So yeah. Anyway, so this weekend, I went to the store, and I actually went out by myself. My husband and I usually go grocery shopping early on Sunday morning. I had coffee with one of my best friends, and then my husband had laid back down to take a nap because he was up at 5 with the dogs, and usually Sundays are a lazy day, and sometimes we'll kind of nap or whatever. So he laid down, and I decided, well, I'll go ahead and get my shopping done. And my dad wanted to ride along. So I said, well, I'm going to Michael's, you know, I hope that's okay. He's like, oh, sure, I'll walk around Michael's with you. So he ended up paying for my Michael's haul as well, which is always a nice treat. I had Christmas money to spend, but that allowed me to hang on to it and spend it on other things, which I did spend some of it today at Tuesday morning. So anyway, I got this pack of collage papers, and they actually, I'm pretty sure they're napkins. They look like napkins. So, yes, I am thrilled about these because these look super fun, and I love, there's so many lines out there that I love for their styles, and I love this style and the faces, and I've got a couple sets of her stamps that I love, and of course the watercolors, and I just love the bright colors, and I love her style. I also love the Diane Reevely stuff. I think her style's also really cool, and I've got a lot of her stuff. And then, of course, who doesn't like Tim Holtz? You know, all of this stuff is usually super expensive. And normally what happens is I don't buy it until, you know, they're about to discontinue it or make something new. So I finally got mermaid markers. These have been out for a while, a long while. I got the last pack on the shelf. They're normally like $40. I got them 50% off plus a 20% off your entire purchase coupon. So I did it. I was just like, I really, you know. So one of my goals this year was to save my Christmas money. I had a good amount of Christmas money, and I was going to save it for all the new stuff that's coming out, because they had Creativation, and then they're going to have CHA and all this, the craft expos are all happen, you know, winter and spring. And that's when, you know, you've already seen videos. Tim Holtz has got new lines of stuff coming out. I just saw on Twitter or Instagram that I think it's Jane Davenport, has a new line of stuff coming out. She is working exclusively with the Jelly Plate people. And she's got a new line of, I think, texture, like stencils and texture stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but coming out that's branded under the Jelly Company or whatever. And so I'm sure that aside from all that, and so of course Tim Holtz has a bunch of new stencils coming out and dyes, and you know, I want all the new stuff, but so what I end up doing is buying the not so new stuff on sale. So I also picked up these 24 colored pencils. I really want some watercolor pencils, and these are not watercolor pencils. However, I know that it says that they are like super pigmented and that they work well over paint, and so I don't know if they're water soluble or not, if I'll be able to kind of do anything with them. And if they're not, that's fine. I just wanted them anyway, and they were cheap because they were, you know, 50% off, plus I had my 20% off coupon. So, and they come in a nice tin with a beautiful face on it, so who can pass that up, right? I know I'm terrible. I think I'm going to buy the Arteza watercolor pencils. I've seen good reviews all over, from Amazon to YouTube, and, you know, lots of people I know, Sassy T has done some Arteza reviews, and Karen over at Karen's Corner, she has done some reviews, and they all seem positive. So I'd kind of like to try I'd like to try a set of their acrylic paints, and then also their brush pens. They are not alcohol markers, and I don't have a set. I keep thinking I want to buy the dual brush pens, the Tombow dual brush pens, because lettering is something else that I want to practice, which I can do it with my alcohol markers because they've all got brush tips, but I'd like some water-based ones as well, because you can do some different techniques with those. And then, so Arteza has quite a few things that I'd like to try as well. So I'll probably get watercolor pencils from there. And then, of course, I want a set of Inktense pencils. Mainly just because I know that you can kind of blend those with they're water soluble. And really, I guess, I don't know that I need all the colors. I really just kind of want black and maybe white. And so I could probably get a black, the Stabilo All pencil, because it's probably going to do the same thing because the Inktense are so expensive. But I'm not entirely sure about that. Some of that's trial and error. I don't know. So if anybody knows, feel free to comment and correct me if any of the statements I've made are not quite right. That's fine, because I'm definitely not an expert. I don't take the time to research everything, and I'm probably going to go back and watch videos about different techniques with these, because I know I'm guessing this, if what I remember is correctly, it's, it's just basically kind of like spray ink and a pen. So they're brush pens, and I think it's just highly pigmented. I don't know if it's water-based or alcohol-based. I don't know. I know everybody's laughing at me because these things have been out for like years, probably, and everybody's already been there, done that. I think it's water-based ink in a pen, and so I know that you can water brush these, if I recall, but of course I love the names of the colors as well, and they're always so bright. And then I'm super excited about this as well. It's an 8.5, 8 by 9.5 is what the measurement is. It's a paper pad. So this was, I think, $10, so I got it for like less than $5. Yeah, and so just gorgeous. I love her color. Oh my gosh, I have to flip through all of these, guys. I'm so sorry. We're gonna look at these and maybe I'll get out the collage papers too. I don't know. I hope that you want to see this. I mean, I could see so much with even though the artwork is already here, like I could totally frame this and hang it on my wall and be in love. I can see myself doing, extra with white gel pen, doing some extra with Posca paint pens, just outlining some stuff, or doodling if I wanted to. There's so many things you could do with this. This great background. It looks like an awesome jelly print. This looks like just a nice collage. It's already all done for you. So, looks like watercolors or inks. Just gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. I love these papers. I'm in love. I didn't even flip through them at the store. I just looked, at what was on the front and the back, and I liked all of those. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna love these. This is really pretty. They're all gonna be really pretty. And this is one of the signature things that I see all the time are these square color swatches. I know she makes some tissue paper or something with that design on it too. Very pretty. I just love her style. I like how the head's tilted to the side. I really wish that I could draw like that. So gorgeous. Make time for your art. See, I would frame this and hang it up. I totally would. So it's what, 8 by 9.5, so 8 by 10 frame would do it. I'd go get some cheap 8 by 10 frames at Dollar Tree and do them all up with my paints and frame some of this stuff. And I don't have a lot of wall space in here. I do. It's up high where I can't reach it, so I got to get my step stool out. And again, this looks like, a jelly print, basically, with several different layers. Such a gorgeous background paper. I love her. I want to be able to draw like this and paint like this. And I love the grungy places in the background. This is gorgeous paper. Gorgeous. Oh, I love this too. Again, it's like the vertical kind of collage-y looking striped background. Love it. Beautiful purples and pinks. And I love this bit of yellow up here. Okay, there's a butterfly back there. Look. And it smells good. I have to smell it. I like to feel it, look at it, and smell it. And it actually smells really good, like a new book. I know it's very strange, but I've got a thing with paper. And I thought I had a lot of paper, and I saw Spanky's collection of paper last night. And I have to tell you what, I thought I had paper. I wish I had all her paper, but I don't know what the heck I would do with it. It would just sit there, and I would forget that I had it. This is gorgeous, too. I've decided now that I'm fairly organized, but I'm getting enough stuff that I need to break things down even more. So I'm going to need a box from napkins. Thank you to Janie. And I know Dawn sent me some napkins recently, and I've gotten a few others in Happy Mail. And now apparently I have these, although maybe I want just a Jane Davenport box. I'm going to need more storage and more containers. So I need to... I've got this big container. I've got 3 containers full of stuff that I use for journals and mixed media. A large one, a medium one, and a small one for like tidbits and ephemera. And my large one has doilies, painty papers, junk mail, tissue paper, napkins, all this stuff mixed together. And I either spend an hour digging through it, trying to get a pile of stuff that I want to use, you know, or I miss things entirely altogether because I was looking through it today and pulled out a couple of things that I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So I need to... I love these colors too. This would be a good mermaid background. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I really need to... There's like a lace pattern there. I really need to organize just a little bit more. I need to break things down into smaller subgroups. Oh, I am in love. I'm learning to fly. So her dress looks collaged. And then it looks like there's like tissue over a jelly print pattern. And then it looks like, you know, like I'm talking as if you were actually going to make this, you know, this is what I would, you know, do, whatever. Stamp maybe, or... Oh, I love her top hat. I love top hats. And I like those other hats. I can't remember the word for it. There's a couple of different kinds of hats that I really like. Top hats are one of them. This is so cool. More of this kind of vertical striped collage. We've got skeletons going. We've got a theme here because I'm pretty sure there was a skeleton in the other one too. Yeah, there is. I wonder what the significance of the skelly is, because he's that's funny. I feel like it's cool, like in an out of place way, because it doesn't really fit, but it's kind of funny. So I'm sure somebody out there knows. I gotta go look and see if there's significance to our little skelly that keeps showing up here. And more of that purple, pink, and teal watercolor. So it looks like I must get I get 2 sheets of each. That's awesome. I am glad for that. So this was a great, great buy, especially for just under $5. I mean, you're not going wrong with that. So basically, the only time I buy this stuff is when it's on sale. I need to pull these staples out so that then I can use the cardboard. Yes, I keep all of this cardboard packaging. Who doesn't in our case, right? Because it works great for tags and for when you need thicker stuff. And I'm sure that I will be able to get all this trimmed down so that I can keep this piece too. So that goes in my pile on the floor until I get to it. My room is a complete mess right now. Absolutely just, it's annihilated. I've got Valentine's stuff everywhere. It's crazy. So, yes, these are definitely napkins. So it looks like I get 3, 4, 5. 5 of each design. So this one is the pretty girl with the hair. That's what it looks like. It looks like some watercolor splotches. Really pretty. And I'm trying to figure out. I think they are already just one layer. I don't think it's like a real napkin where I have to tear it apart. I'm pretty sure this is just a single layer. It seems like it, but I could be wrong. I'll find out. I still have a hard time getting my napkins apart. I remember early on when I first found Dawn Calvin, I watched her video where she was the first time that I think that was the first time I had actually seen her face, because every other time was just a table video, and it's where she was showing us how she licks her fingers to get the napkin apart, and how she was like, people are gonna probably think this is gross, and I'm thinking, really? Like you're licking your finger with your own spit. It's not gross. But she was like kind of making a comment or like concerned that somebody would find it appalling that she was licking her fingers to get the napkin apart, and I thought it was cute, but I've never been able to actually do it. I have better luck if I cut the corner and then kind of pick at it with a craft pick or something. This is really pretty too. Again, I love this face. Magic is something you make. Moon, magic, and you. Gorgeous. So that's the second design. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those, and this one looks like it's an ocean theme, so we're going to probably have a mermaid. Yep, we got some mermaids. We got mermaid on here. Get into your art flow. Feel the sea, touch the sky, let your soul plus spirit fly. Sea queen, stay wild, ocean child. Dance to the song of the sea. These are really pretty. Gosh, I love this style. And I love the Delusions stuff too. Her stuff is really cool. I like her whimsical. I love her stamps with the heads and the pants and all the pieces that you can put together to make people are all crazy looking, whimsical. I love it. So yeah, this one. Oh, this is so pretty. So this is totally background. I wouldn't say that it has a specific theme other than just Jane's theme. So it looks like a lot of doodles with a face, and I'm pretty sure I've got this stamp that is like this. I don't know. I've got some stamps that are just the face part, which I love because then I can kind of collage or whatever I want to do with the hair. And then I think I have some full with hair and stuff too. I don't know for sure. And I've got the Paisley designed stamp set. Her stamp sets aren't that expensive. I will buy those when they're full price, because I think, if I remember right, they were only like $5 or $6 for an acrylic stamp set. Here's looks like the watercolor swatches. So her stamp sets aren't too terribly expensive. All the Tim Holtz stuff is super expensive. I can't buy it unless it's on sale or they're, discontinuing it. I went and got my corner chomper the other day so that I could chomp my corners on my journal. So I finally got me one at Hobby Lobby, and they had, they got a lot of their stuff on clearance because they're going to bring in the new lines, and this is the time of year to get things. And so last year I ended up picking up a couple bottles of Tim's Distress paint, of course, older stuff, been out for a while, but I have a couple bottles of it. And then I must have hit it late because I saw they had one Distress Oxide left for $1.49 on clearance, and it was the orange marmalade, and I just grabbed it. I mean, I would love to just buy the whole set, but I don't have, hundreds of dollars to spend on it. So I just grab what I can when it's on sale, and I even have to sit there and go, I don't know what I'm going to use orange for yet, but I don't care because it's oxide. And I've got a couple other colors because my son bought me the Worn Lipstick Cracked Pistachio and the lilac one for my birthday. So anyway, I've already got some. These are really cool too. I love her. This reminds me of, not the color, but the Queen of Hearts in the new Alice in Wonderland remakes, because I love Alice in Wonderland. And this reminds me of her hair, except for hers is red, but this is kind of that heart shape, so it kind of reminds me of that Queen of Hearts hair. These are so pretty. So yeah, I'm going to have so much fun with this stuff. So I'm excited to sit down, and maybe what I ought to do is challenge myself to do a couple of pages in my art journal that just use Jane's supplies, because I've got pens and pencils and paper and stamps. So I should be able to do it, and I guess I could allow myself to use, you know, a Posca paint pen, or if I need to, or a white gel pen or something. But anyway, okay, so now we're going to get to today's stuff, and I went totally overboard. It wasn't too bad. I got all of this stuff for about $88. It was Christmas money, like I said, so it wasn't really that bad. I just saw Dawn was using this the other day, and it reminded me I wanted to go back, because these are only $1.99. Oh, I have the gold, silver, and black. This is texture paste, and this is, I think I was talking about it in another video, but this is not thick. I think I commented on Dawn's video because she had made a comment about how thin this was. It's not like this. And I need to stir this up, obviously. I call this the consistency of cold cream cheese. It's very, very thick, and it has its uses. Don't get me wrong. I use it for things. It's great when you need when you want to use it with your stencils and you really want that texture. But this stuff, I used the gold. I've used it a couple of times, but it works with stencils just fine. It's like a real heavy-bodied acrylic almost, but it still gives texture. And to me, this is easier to scrape in my stencils. I have a hard, and some of my stencils are probably just cheap, and that's part of the problem. But sometimes I have a real hard time getting the texture paste to really, and maybe I'm not stirring it up enough. I could spend some more time testing with it and stuff, but I do really like this. I used it to add a little bit of gold texture. It almost looked like gold leafing on my week 4 tag that I did. I used the gold, and I really liked how it turned out. So my basket that's up here behind the camera that I've got my tube paints in is now full. I've got to find another storage solution for my tube paints, because I've kind of gotten to the point where I've stopped buying the craft paint so much, and I have a shelf for it, but my tubes don't fit on it. Now so I will buy the Artist Loft or mostly the Master's Touch when it's on sale. And I've got big tubes, like 8-ounce tubes of black and white, and then I've got the 4-ounce tubes of colors. So I've started buying like 2 or 4 at a time when they're on sale for $2 or $2.50, and it's a lot. To me, for the most part, it really is a lot better. Again, depending on the use, but it's heavier body, it's a little more pigmented. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this paint. If I'm gonna buy any more paint like this, I'm probably always gonna buy the Deco Art, because I think out of all of it, I have the best luck with it. I don't like the Craft Smart as much. This Folk Art brushed metal paint is good though. I do like it. But anyway, so I've kind of converted over to buying tube paint, and so now I need a storage solution for all of that. So I've got to figure it out, because my basket's full. So I got to think on that a little bit. I picked up a sticky piercer. I don't have one. I have this was all I could find at the time. I have the pick-me-up tool, and I originally bought this because for a while I was actually getting my nails done, and I was getting tips, and it was really hard for me to pick stuff up. So this basically has what I call poster tacky in it, and it's just a little bit tacky so that you can pick up little pieces. This is really for weeding, because it's a Silhouette brand tool. So I'm going to assume that the purpose of this is for weeding when you're cutting out vinyl or intricate stuff on your Silhouette machine. but it worked. It served the purpose for picking up like my gems and my small little tidbits and stuff that I wanted to kind of hang on to, put glue on, and then stick down. So it served that purpose okay. This end is like a chisel tip, and I think, you know, again, it's more for weeding. I did not have one that had a piercer on it. So here's the reason why I picked this up. I think, so the tip is tacky, and it does not look like that it's going to squeeze more stuff out that comes off. It looks like it's just a tacky tip. I don't know, because I've never had one of these. Watch me impale my finger because I'm opening it on the piercer side like a moron. Because I could see myself doing that and then bleeding all over the place. The other reason why I picked this up, well, first of all, it was like, okay, $5. I mean, okay, $5. Not bad. I know I had mentioned that I do not have an awl, and I haven't, ow, yeah, that's sharp. See, I poke it and then I go, ow. That's like what I do with the hot glue gun. You know, I touch the tip of it to clean it off with my fingers like a moron, and then I go, ow, that's hot. So I was thinking that I could use, I was thinking that maybe I could use this to poke my holes, which would be a lot cleaner because it's a lot finer of a tip. So it would definitely be a lot cleaner of a hole than the ones that I've been making with the Phillips end of this mini screwdriver, which it works. It just makes the hole way bigger than it needs to be. See the difference there? We're talking way different. And then this barrel is so wide that it tears the paper and makes it does not look very nice. Why can I not get this back on here? Am I a complete nard? I don't even know why it came off, to be honest. Apparently it's supposed to do that. So I think I can poke my holes with that and use that as my awl. And yeah. So this is tacky, and it says you can clean it off with a wet paper towel. Clean tacky tip with wet paper towel. So it's literally just I believe, it's just a tacky tip. It does not have substance in it that's going to come out. The problem I've had recently with my silhouette thing is this gummy stuff comes off and then sticks to like my flat back, my gem or something. And then I always want to unscrew this cap, and when you screw this, it pushes more tacky out. And so then I inadvertently push out way more tacky than I need. This is still useful. I'm not dogging it. It's fine. I'm probably just not always using things for the purpose intended. So, okay. I got a stash of stamps and, oops, and it all slid, embossing folders. It all slid off all over the place. That was my Tuesday morning receipt. Shouldn't need that for anything. So, I got this awesome cling stamp, which I love. She's really pretty. So I love her, and she is Belle. So I like people, outlines of people, faces, things like that. I like to incorporate that kind of stuff in my pieces. I love these Paisley stamps. So these are cling stamps. And it comes with a stencil too. See, I didn't even notice that. So it comes with a stencil. It's a free stencil. It's probably a really flimsy one. Stupendous. I thought they made pretty good stuff. I don't see it much anymore, but I know they sold it at Hobby Lobby. Anyway, stencil is a stencil. Yeah, it's very, very flimsy. This is thinner than my, this is way thinner than my stencil blank sheets that I bought at Hobby Lobby. So anyway, you definitely won't be using that with texture paste at all. But I could use it probably with a sponge dauber and some paint. If I just wanted to stencil, do some stencil the shapes down and then maybe color them in or something. But, so yeah, whatever. I didn't buy it for the stencil. I didn't even know I was getting a stencil. So, NBD, no big deal. What is that? Oh, yeah. But I love the stamps. So, yes, and these are my first clean stamps. I have acrylic stamps, and I have some woodblock rubber stamps, but this is my first set of clean stamps. So, I am excited to use these, of course. And I will stick that. I don't really, I could probably find a use for these innards. So I'm going to go ahead and hang on to those. Okay. And I like these Bow Bunny stamps. I bought some Christmas ones around Christmas time. And so I found a couple new sets today. So I grabbed those. I love owls, and I do love birds, and I like the whole book print pattern they've got going on. So, I mean, $3, you can't, to me, I can't pass that up. Normally, a stamp set like this at Michael's, it'll range anywhere from 10 to 15 or 16 bucks. So, $3, yeah. I love this, the whole bird cages, the French, I'm assuming this is French kind of graphic here, the little doodahs, love it. And more butterflies. These are always fun. I could do a lot with these as well. I picked up some more number stamps. I like to use these in my Happy Planner as well for numbering my days of the week. So I have a few different styles of number stamps. And since I hate my handwriting, I tend to just stamp the days of the week on. Again, I think this was, what, $3.99, so way cheaper than it would have been at the craft store. I picked up these cling stamps. These are Timmy Holtz. Love his stuff. Just don't usually want to pay the price for it, but these are, I really love this lace looking one. And then we've got some, looks like doves maybe, love, wish, dream, and I could cut these words apart if I wanted to. And then a little fleur, love it. And then I picked up some embossing folders. I didn't have any of the texture fades. And I just had a conversation today with Mark in the Facebook group over at Spanky's. He was wanting somebody to make him some embossed pieces of paper so that he could do a stitched faux leather journal like they did, like Melissa did over at 70 Acre Studio. And so I was asking him, well, what exactly do you want? Because I don't know. I assumed maybe that it was like the steampunk look. And I was like, I don't have any of those embossing folders. I've got circles and dots and lines and things like that. But I don't have any of the steampunky ones. So I had to go watch a little bit of Melissa's video. Of course, now I want to do it. But I found these and I went ahead and picked them up. So one was $1.99. This one's a 2-pack. It was $3.99. These were the only ones they had, so I grabbed them all. So now I have more embossing folders. I also grabbed these because they were $8.99. Again, way cheaper. These are the Thinlits dies. This is the Shine set. I know, again, they're old. These have been out several years, but I love the idea of just being able to take a piece of paper, pick out a few words that I want, run it through the Big Shot, done. I don't have to mess with getting the Cricut set up and stuff just for things like this. So I picked those up. I was also going to get the Explorer set, but I felt like, God, I'm just spending so much money. So I went ahead and put it back because I wanted this one more. I grabbed these. I think I might use the pink and the red possibly for my journal that I'm working on. I have no use for these at the moment, but they are vintage weekly contents pages. They're 3-hole punched. They will not fit in my Happy Planner because they're too wide. It looks like it comes with some journaling cards or ephemera. But there's all these different styles of pages, and they're vintage, and I can use them in a junk journal. I can washi tape them in and use them as tip-ins, fold-outs, whatever. They're $3. You get a whole stack of stuff. They're gorgeous. Again, it's a no-brainer for me pick them up. I went ahead, I've seen this every time I've gone. I went ahead and picked up this big, thick roll of washi wraps. I think it'll be handy, especially since I'm going to be hopefully sending out more Happy Mail. Like I said, that's kind of my goal, is to either participate in some more swaps and maybe send out some RAKs this year as well. So, yeah, popping that stuff off to the side. I could watercolor this probably if I wanted to, or color it with marker, and it would just be an extra layer of protection. Usually when I use washi tape on my envelopes that I send, I go ahead and put glue stick down under it, just to, because we all know washi tape doesn't stick very well. So if you really want it to stay and actually hold something together, you want to put some glue under it. So I finally went ahead, I finally bought this. I was going to get the tab punch board, and then I also want the frame punch board, but then I saw this, and it's a tag punch board. And again, I'm lazy because I have a Cricut machine. And I've kind of been looking for some tag dies for my die cutting machine, which I would have went ahead and grabbed those if they had some, but they didn't. This will make tags up to 3.5 inches wide. So basically what it's going to do for me is it's going to cut my corners straight and even, and it's going to punch my hole, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to punch my hole. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter because I have a hole punch. Yeah, punch perfectly centered holes every time. So I can make the tag as long as I want. It doesn't matter how long the paper is coming out. But I can make it 3.5 inches wide. And if I remember right, the minimum size of my 52-week tags is 3.5 by 7 or something like that. It could be 3 3/4, but I think it's 3.5. So this will make it so much quicker. I do not have to sign on to the Cricut design space and get my paper on my mat and turn the machine on and set my dial and then sit there and wait for it to cut out, and then I have to run, 10 sheets through to get 20 tags. I can just sit here with paper and cut it down however long I want it and stick it in here, flip it, cut, flip it, punch, punch, and I'm done. So again, $7.50. Why not? Why not try it? Because I love the envelope punch board, and I love my planner punch board because I have the disc punch inserts on that. And so far, I love those. So I want the tab one now, and I want the frame one as well. And then I know there's a flower one too, and I'm kind of interested in that. Okay, so that's my one. Here's the thing that I'm super excited about, because I had kind of been looking at this, and I didn't realize there was all this drama surrounded it. But so I've been in the market of trying to find some bigger acrylic blocks, because I have nothing that's going to hold this. And so I kind of looked on Amazon, and I didn't really see anything that I wanted. And I'm sorry, I am not going to pay $60 or $70 or $80, how much ever it is, for one of those Misty tools. I think that's insane to spend that much money on a stamp platform, especially because Tonic Studios has one that is way less expensive. And so apparently, I come to find out as I'm looking at this stuff on Amazon a couple of weeks ago that apparently that has caused a problem, because there is supposedly, I guess, some lawsuit or some legal action that the company that makes Misty has decided they're going to against Tonic and the Tim Holtz stamp platform. I don't know whose was out first. I remember when the Misty came out and everybody was just going bonkers over how wonderful it was. I don't need the full-size one, and I swear I wasn't even going to look down on the bottom shelf. I had looked, and I'd seen some of the Heidi Swap books and some other stuff, and then I kept moving down the aisle at Tuesday morning, and I just happened to squat down, which I hate doing because I can't get back up and I feel like an old woman, and they had like 3 of these, and I was like, I saw that it was, first of all, I saw that it was $12.90. First of all, I saw that it was this. you cannot order these anymore unless somebody has just got leftover stock. They have, my understanding is that they have pulled them until this legal litigation is done. Again, I could be wrong, but I kind of went and looked, and I saw some hubbub about it on some forums or something, because when I was looking on Amazon, I was like, why, they're out of stock. So the only thing I could get on Amazon was going to be $60, and it was going to come with this, and then the case for it, and a cleaning wipey, and I think another set of the blending, like a package of the blenders, and then a package of the sponges. Like, there was a bunch of stuff that came in a set for $60. And I didn't need all that. And I was like, well, I really don't want to pay $60. So then I even looked into getting the big one. And I really don't need the big one. I don't think I have a use for the super big one. I think this is the perfect size for me. Oh, look at this. Yeah, just throw it in my face, because I still want one of those. And I'll probably buy one the next time I find one less than $40, because I've been wanting one for a while. But, okay, I can't look at that right now. But I can use this. Okay, look, I'm more excited about the packaging than Look at this. I can make, well, I don't know why I'm turning it around. Look. Okay, look at this. I can make like a shadow box, mixed media. Oh my God, the work is already done for me. All I gotta do is gesso it and then do something really cool in here. I am freaking, okay, I can't wait. And I gotta keep this too, because you can do all kinds of fun things. This is some cool texture. Once you put a couple layers of gesso over this foam stuff, you can paint on it just fine. I have experience with it, and it does take a coat or two of gesso, because it soaks right into it. But anyway, I can't wait, because then I can hang it up on the little handle. Okay, I am so thrilled over the stinking packaging. Okay, so I'm thrilled because I found this for $12.99, and all I need, I basically just want it. I don't do a lot of layering of my stamps. I really don't. I'm not a card maker, so I don't have stamps that I need to layer and outline with a background and all this other stuff, right? So, but I do have some really big stamps that I need to, have blocks for. So instead of buying 500 sets of stamping blocks and trying to find one that's big enough, I wanted just a small stamp platform. So I'm going to try it out real quick, because I'm so super thrilled about it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this on a small piece of watercolor paper, because I might go ahead and use some water. No, it's going to take me 15 minutes to find it. Here's some. So, and I think something I read about this too when I was, oops, shit, see, I just broke them. I read that as well. You gotta be careful with these, because they are strong and they will break. So, lesson learned there. I will probably be okay with just 1.5. I may be able to find some glue strong enough that I can glue that back together. So there you go. There you have it. One of the things I was going to tell you is that I read that these magnets are super, and really it just sticks right back together. But don't get it close to the other one, for goodness sake. Oh my gosh, that was so stupid. So I did it right there on camera for you. So keep these magnets far apart, because they are strong and they will literally break in half. And I did read that as well. But the first thing I was going to go over is that one of the things I read about this, that people liked this one more than the Misty for, was because you could use paper that was bigger than the platform, because it didn't have a lip all the way around. So if I want to use a great big piece of paper, I can, because it's only got the edges on 2 sides. So I can use as big of a piece of paper as I want and just keep stamping all over it. So I liked that. I also liked the fact that even if I wouldn't have found this at Tuesday morning, it was still way cheaper than the Misty tool, But so more importantly is that they're hard to find. I'm not saying you can't find one, but they are almost impossible to find right now. And if you do find them, they're going to be expensive because people are wanting them still, and you just can't get them right now. There's, like I said, there's some legal issue going on, and it's until they get that lined out. What am I doing? Until they, let's put it on here right, goober. Until they get that lined out, these are not going to be, they're not going to be putting new ones on the shelf. They're not going to be getting in new stock. Since I have a big enough piece of paper, I'm probably just going to go ahead and do all of these. And I'm doing this because I want to play. I want to try this out and see. I won't have enough room for all of them. But so my point is, even stamps this big. So now I've got a plenty big enough platform to do this with. So supposedly how this works, and it's got a rubbery bottom so that it doesn't slide around super easily. So I get these all placed where I want. So if you have a specific place where you want to put this stuff on a project, you put your magnets down to hold your paper in place. So let's say you already had some drawings or something on here and you wanted to place things a specific way. So now you put this down. Check that out. And I did put it outside the so you got to make sure that you keep your stamps inside the grid line. And yeah, so, and my paper's not that wide either, so come on, let's figure this out here. So the purpose, now I'm just moving it here just to kind of make sure everything gets on the paper. So it's going to. So the whole idea here is that you can ink this stuff all up. Oh, are my magnets in the way now? No, they're not. So you can ink all this stuff up. And it really helps. I'm going to have to start replacing my ink pads because all of my old close to my heart ink pads the lid doesn't come off like this. So this will be almost impossible to do with the lid still attached to the, because it doesn't even open all the way. And so it's going to be really hard to ink stuff in this manner with those ink pads, which is fine because most of the inking I do is black. I'm not getting really super picky here. This is the first time I've used these stamps, so they've not been seasoned or anything yet. I just wanted to try this and see how it worked. And so yeah, you basically just put it back down and you push down, and I'm going to go ahead and stand up and just kind of make sure I get a good, give it a good heave-ho here. And then, oh, there you go. Okay. It's so thrilling. And I got a couple spots that I didn't get very well, but like I said, I wasn't being I had a lot of big stamps on here. And like I said, this is my first time I've used them. Sometimes when I buy new stamps, I usually ink them up and do, several test stamps on a scrap piece before I lay them down on my project because, you got to kind of make sure you're picking up everything. And so I'm just going to wipe them off. This is all I do with my stamps is I just wipe them off. I have a scrubber. Do I still have my little scrubber somewhere? I think I still have the little scrubber platform thing. But, I find that, but I don't really mind if my stamps are stained, I guess, and that probably would drive some people nuts. I don't know what that is. There's something purple stuck in there. What are you? Come off of there. But I just try to wipe them off the best that I can, and I don't get super anal about it, and then I put them back on their sheet. So, yeah. So like I said, for the most part, I don't do, any extensive layering. I've got some stamps that have a couple of different layers, like some flowers and stuff. And so this will be great for that because what you can do is you can stamp your first layer, and then the point of this is that you can put your next layer on and line it up exactly and adjust it exactly where it needs to be without your paper ever moving, and then stamp your layer on. They've made that easier over the years, because at first, you had your wood block stamps and you had to be a real pro to layer those, and I have hefty respect for anybody that could, because I could never get that right. And then, they came out with the acrylic stamps and then the acrylic blocks so that you can see basically through the stamp, and that helps you layer it a lot better. So I had several sets of those acrylic stamps from close to my heart. And I will say that over the years, I've moved several times, and there were a couple of times where my crafting stuff was put away, and those stamps got to the point where they were brittle, and they were literally like pulling apart. The stamps themselves were pulling. Dang it, I did it again. Did I break the other one now? For the love of God. So these are going to be your nemesis. I don't mind. I only paid $13 for this. So, I knew, because I had read that this was an issue. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I knew I was going to have this problem. I'd forgotten about it before I took those magnets off and tried to stick them in one hand. Now here's what I find interesting though. Don't do it again. This word is all on one side on this one, and I can't get it all on one side on this one because it's opposite. It's like pushing away from each other. Am I just being a moron? I can get it together just fine if it doesn't want to go together that way, but if I put it backwards, that's not the way it's supposed to go, then it'll go together just fine. So I don't know, it doesn't want to do it. That's strange. It's like a Mexican jumping magnet. The Mexican jumping bean. Okay, so I don't care that it's correct. I just want to get it together. You stay there in your corner, and you stay there in your corner. So that's the only thing to be aware of, is that. Be very careful with the magnets. But for $13, and the fact that this is, you can't find it, and by the way, this comes off, so that's also nice. I don't know why. I guess, you can clean it or something, whatever. But again, you want to keep this stuff inside those little edges there, the lips, so that they will lay flat. But yes, this, so it opens right up, it opens flat, but you can also just get it to stand up. I don't know how I did it this time. Anyway, it'll open flat, but it'll stay like that as well. I think it's just a matter of kind of just getting it set correctly I don't mind it opening flat all the way, so, but I was just going to point out that this did come out, so that's nice. And it's got some room so that it can adjust when you've got some, stamps in there that are thicker. It will adjust to that thickness. It'll kind of move up a little bit, But yeah, for $13, and like I said, the fact that they're almost impossible to find right now, and if you do find them, they're probably going to be expensive. I picked that up. I grabbed it so quick. So I was very thrilled with that purchase. So now I don't have to worry about finding more acrylic blocks. So I've got a way to use my large stamps. So, yeah. So I've got so much stuff to organize and put away. It's not even funny. And I'm going to let this dry for several hours before I try to do any kind of marker or watercolor on it. I think I could probably heat set it and it would be alright, but I usually wait several hours if I can. So I need to probably go buy a couple more of these. I want a white one, maybe a gray one, another black one. I also may try the Ranger Archival ink too. I think that sets and is waterproof once you get it I'm sure I could use this packaging for something too. This is nice and thick. Oh my gosh, there's my packaging pile. Okay, so I thank you for watching. I was so excited to share my hauls with you. And so if you have a Tuesday morning and you are interested in a tonic, the Tim Holtz travel stamp platform, I'm sorry, let me tell you what size it is because I did not tell you that. They do have a large one. This is 6.5 by 6.5 base. But since you have your open edges on two sides, you can put in any stinking size of paper you want. You just have to know that you just have the 6.5 by 6.5 working space, but you can take your paper out and flip it around. So it's nice. You don't have to cut your paper down. So that's why, to me, it doesn't matter at all that it's not a 12 by 12 platform. I don't need a 12 by 12 platform, and I sure don't need one for $70. So I have nothing bad to say about Misty. Let me just make that really clear before somebody thinks that I am trashing them or anything like that. I have not used their product. I have seen other people use their product. There are a lot of people that love it. That's fine. I just, if this works for what I need it to do and it's less expensive, then I'm going to buy this. I like this. And I like Tim Holtz stuff. And if it's on sale and I can get it for a good price, I'll buy it. So anyway, just disclaimer, I am not in any way, shape, or form. My intent is not to trash Misty or their design or their product or any of that. So I just wanted to make that clear because I don't want to upset any of the banshees. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you hanging out with me, and hopefully I will get my Valentine Journal video edited, because it's definitely going to have to be edited, and get that posted this week. And then maybe we can get on with life, working on some mixed media, playing around in the journal or the voluptuous violet or whatever. So just some relaxing stuff. And we'll talk to you later. Stay sassy.